Hey guys, in this video we're finding the volume of cones. And just like finding the volume of a pyramid, we're going to use the formula capital B times a capital H divided by 3. So a cone is a lot like a pyramid. It only has one base and it has a point on the other side. So we're going to treat it just like a pyramid with a circular base. So, just a little reminder that big B stands for the area of the base. All right, and the base in all of these cones is going to be a circle. So in every single question, in every single example that we do today, to find the area of the base, let's use that. To find the area of the base, we're going to be using the formula for a circle. That's supposed to be a circle. And the area of a circle is pi times the radius squared. And just like before, h stands for the height of the cone, which is perpendicular to the base. So very similar to pyramids, but all the bases, all the capital B's are going to be circles, so we'll have to use pi times the radius squared. All right, let's jump into this first example. I've already shaded the base, so we know it's a circle. So the base is a circle, and we're going to use the formula pi times the radius squared. Well, the radius is the distance from the center of the circle to a point on the circle. So the radius is 2. R equals 2. So my big B is pi times 2 squared, or 4 pi. And the units was kilometers, and since this is area of the base, it's kilometers squared. So my big B is 4 pi kilometers squared. I'm going to leave my pi because I don't like messing with pi's until the very end. So pi is going to hang out in my answer until the very end. And the height of the cone goes from the base to the point over here. So the height of my cone is 4 kilometers. Alrighty guys, so we have our big B, we have our big H. So now I can find the volume. The volume is big B times big H divided by 3. Big B is 4 pi. Big H is 4. And it's going to be divided by 3. So, on top I've got a 16 pi. And on the bottom I have a 3. The units would be kilometers and cubic kilometers. So that is a good answer right there. You could leave your answer like that, or if you're doing a multiple choice question and you have decimal answers, then I'm going to punch all of this into my calculator. I'm going to do 16 times pi. So 16 times pi, 16 times pi button, and then I'm going to go ahead and divide it by 3. So my answer could also be 16.76. cubic kilometers. So both of these are good answers. That one's in terms of pi, and this one is rounded to the nearest hundredth. So that's how we do it. Find the area of the base using pi r squared, multiply it by the height, and then divide by 3. So another formula that you might see out on the interwebs, instead of using a big B, because they're all found by doing pi r squared, it might say pi r squared times h divided by 3. So that's another formula you might see floating around, but it's the same thing because pi r squared gave you that big B. So, and sometimes they use little h's. I'm a big fan of a big H. I like big H's and I cannot lie. I won't do that again. Next. All right, to find the big B, it's a circle, so we use pi r squared. That's pi times My radius is 1, so pi times 1 squared. 1 squared is still just 1. So my big B is just 1 pi. Just 1 pi. I don't even need to put the 1 there. If I just put pi, you know it's 1 pi. So big B is pi. Big H, the height, is 3. So I've got all the pieces to my puzzle. The volume equals big B times big H divided by 3. So that's 3 pi over 3. Well, the 3's would cancel out, leaving you with just pi. The volume of that cone is just pi. The units, kilometers cubed. So pi kilometers cubed would be a good answer. And if I did that on my calculator, what's pi? 3.1415 something? So 3.14 kilometers cubed. Both of those are good answers in terms of pi and as a decimal. Fun, fun. 2 more examples, and in the next 2 examples, you're going to see, you're going to be given the diameter. So just very little difference. All right, number 3. I like to highlight my base because it just feels right. So then I remember, hey, my base is a circle. And the area of a circle is found by doing pi times the radius squared. Well, my diameter is 18. So that means my radius is only going to be half of that. So the whole thing's 18, that's the diameter. So my radius is going to be 9 yards. So pi times 9 squared, also known as 81 pies. And then my height would be the perpendicular distance from the base to that vertex, so 18 yards. Cool, cool. So my volume is going to be big B times big H divided by 3. Big B is 81 pies. Big H is 18, and we're going to be dividing by 3. So, in terms of pi, my answer could be 81 times 18 divided by 3. It could be 486 pies. Notice I still have the pi floating around. This answer is in terms of pi. So 486 cubic yard, pi, 486 pi cubic yards is a good answer in terms of pi. And if I want that answer as a decimal, multiply by pi. And that's 1,526.81 yards cubed. So again, both good answers. You have your exact answer, and you have your approximated answer rounded to the hundredths place. So 2 good answers for you. And last up, example 4, very similar to example 3. So if you needed one more, here it is. So again, starting with the big B, which is a circle, so we're going to use pi times the radius squared. Well, since the diameter is 20, I know it's the diameter because it goes all the way across. That means the radius is going to be half, because the radius only goes from the center to a point on the circle, so the radius is a 10. So our big B is pi times 10 squared. And 10 squared is 100, so that's 100 pies. Wish I had 100 pies. I'd eat them up. And then H, my height, is the perpendicular distance from the base to the tippy top. And that's going to be at 20 centimeters. So I've got my base, I've got my height. My volume is big B times big H divided by 3. That is 100 pies multiplied by 20 and divided by 3. So my volume is going to be a big number. 20 times 100 pi Yeah, yeah, yeah. 2,000 pies. 2,000 pies sounds way better than 100 pies. So 2,000 pies over 3. And the units was centimeters cubed. So that's an exact answer. And if I wanted to punch that into my calculator to see what it is as a decimal, that would be 2,000 divided by 3 times pi. I don't know why I use that voice whenever I start using my calculator. It's my calculating voice. 0.3. Ooh. Actually, when I round it to the near 100, it's going to be 40. I live in a place called Sefner, and that's how people talk. We don't judge them. We do judge them. So my exact answer was 2,000 pi over 3 centimeters cubed. And then my approximated or rounded answer is 2,094.4 centimeters cubed. Alrighty, guys, I hope you learned a lot about something so useful. Because you never know when in your life you're going to have to find the volume of a cube. Or a cone, I guess. I don't know why I'm talking about cubes. Alright, guys, may the force be with you. Have a blessed, wonderful day. See ya.